Ew. Cheers!
Cheers!
That was my husband. Yeah. So, today I want to talk about, am I still RawTill4? Or have I changed to the starch solution, or which high-carb vegan diet am I on? And this really is an important topic to me because, yeah, many of you maybe know that there has been a lot of controversy like in the high-carb vegan movement, like which high-carb vegan diet is the best. And I've already like made a video on the best high-carb vegan diet, which is, I think, just low-fat vegan. And that is what I have been on from the beginning on. I haven't actually labeled myself with like RawTill4 or anything. It might have been occurred in some titles of my videos, but I don't see myself as a RawTill4 person or whatever, or like I see myself as a low-fat, high-carb vegan. And I really want to talk about this because I think it really limits our potential of what we could like reach in our society if we call ourselves RawTill4 or a starch solutioner or whatever. Because I think it's really distracting for non-vegans. And like when non-vegans hear RawTill4 or the starch solution, they're like, what? Like, what the fuck? What's that? And they get confused and irritated, and like I think it turns them off of any vegan diet because they think we're all crazy and we're just all about like tiny details and perfectionism and like extremism. Like they think we are extreme. And of course we are not, but I really don't want that to be in the way for non-vegans to become vegan. So yeah, so I think we just have to ask ourselves. So I ask myself, what is my goal? Why am I low-fat vegan? Why am I on any, like, why do I eat the way I eat? Why do I why do I give myself the nutrition that I do? And that is because so my answer to this is, I want to be the healthiest I can be. And that without being restricting, and without being restricted, and without being less social. So that is why I haven't been raw from the beginning on as well. But I think there is, like, with every diet there are particular rules that you have to follow in order to be able to say at some stage that this diet works or this diet doesn't work. But for me, as someone who had an eating disorder like 10 years ago, but then after that always a little bit, like I call calorie restricting an eating disorder. You don't have to be extremely eating disordered. You can just be like restricting and like watching your calories. And I think that is already an eating disorder. So I want this to belong to the past. There is no space for that in my lifestyle now, in my low-fat vegan lifestyle. And so I don't want to think about food anymore. That is my goal. Besides being the healthiest I can be without being restricting or less social. So I don't want to think all the time about food. And that is why I don't call myself a RawTill4 or, you know, a starch solution or whatever there is. I guess there's so much more, like I think Reversing Diabetes from Neil Barnard and whatever. There are so many plant-based diets that, like low-fat plant-based diets, programs that heal people, and I think they are all great. I don't think any of them is bad or worse than the others. So I am basically, like, I think the diet that comes the closest to my diet now is RawTill4, because I love the way it combines the benefits you get from 80-10-10, like fully raw, and the starch solution. So you get a lot of fruit, but you can also have your starches, like at night. But so I'm doing that like most of the time, but not because I'm not watching the clock. Is it already 4? Am I allowed to? So I don't like that, asking for permission if you can have cooked food now. So I'm basically doing, like, when I can decide, when I am living like my everyday life, I'm doing it that way because I love raw food and I love fruit and I feel amazing on it. But I also like my cooked starches in the evening. So I'm doing it in the RawTill4 style, but I'm not calling myself a RawTill4 person because I am changing that up a bit, like from time to time, just when I feel like it. For example, like my husband, like David, is really, he loves starches as well. He's not like eating as much fruit as me, so he, like, when it's weekend and we are together and, you know, we are having lunch together, and for example, like, he loves cooking and he cooks something, and then I'm not going like, oh, it's like not 4 p.m. yet, I can't eat cooked now. So yeah, that, I just don't think that is essential. So I don't restrict myself clockwise when I can have cooked starches. I also wouldn't have any problem with eating cooked in the morning, like muesli, like any grains or rice, you know, like the starch solution. I wouldn't have a problem with that if I didn't have fruit. So just like I said, I don't want any restriction. I want to eat what I want, what I feel like in that moment. And if I have it, like, it's always fruit. But if it doesn't happen that way, then so what? Like, it's really not essential. It's still a super healthy vegan meal. And so I try to, like, if I have it under my control, I try to always go for low-fat vegan. So that is kind of my limit. And if I can't get that, like, for example, if I am at a restaurant, well, if I can't get low-fat, then okay, then it's going to be just vegan. And it's not going to kill me. Like, I can ask for less oil, and, you know, but if it's a little bit oilier now and then, you know, what counts is like the average caloric-nutrient ratios over the whole year. So it doesn't matter if you are a little bit fattier once. But, like, if I can, like, I do the best. I do what I can, and if I go somewhere, if I am invited, I will ask. Just, you can always ask if you can have with no oil or anything. Yeah, so basically I want to be free. I don't want to be restricted. I don't want to have set or fixed times, which is mainly the case with RawTill4. And I know that Freely and Durian Rider don't actually like do it like that strict themselves. They're also not going like, oh, okay, do we have like 4 o'clock yet? And they also see it just like an appropriate, like, name for that diet. And I really, I love it. As I said, I'm mainly doing RawTill4 if, like, I think 80 to 90%, like 90% of the time over the whole year. But, like, yeah, I don't consider starches as worse than fruit. I just love the fruit. So And I don't think Freely and Harley are that strict as well. I think it's just an orientation for the newbies and a guiding rule for those who have issues getting a lot of raw food in. Because RawTill4 is all about a lot of raw food, and then in the evening, like, you can have some cooked, and that makes it easy to get in so much raw food. So I think that is the mindset behind it, and it's like still RawTill4, like still there's, you know, these rules, and I don't like rules if it comes to eating. I just want to eat. I love eating, and I want to be free doing that, and I want to be free to go for anything I feel like in that moment, and like anything healthy, low-fat, vegan. So yeah, and then like the question, what's natural? What's more natural, eating fruits or starches? And I really must say, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I think that both sides bring on really good arguments. Like, I think that eating traditional, like, I think, so the starch side, McDougall in his book, brings on the argument that it's like our traditional diet, that we thrived on it and developed, that humankind developed on starches. And I think that also we don't have some enzymes for fruit, I'm not quite sure. But for the fruit, like, there's the argument that we have, I think Doug Graham has a lot of arguments. I remember that we are frugivores, that our teeth are the ones of frugivores, and you know, I don't know them by heart now, but like, I really don't know, because there's arguments for both sides which are really like convincing me, and I just, for myself, I just believe they're both healthy. Like, I don't put any above the other. So I really just don't know. So I go for the one that I want. And most of the times it's fruit, because I love fruit. And it digests easily, but I also love my starches. So in the end, I just want it easy. I want it to be easy. I like the times with all these complications and restrictions and non-self-loving habits are over. They are gone, and I want to be free, and I want it to be simple when it comes to eating and food. I want to eat to live, and not, I don't want to live to eat. So yeah, I want to enjoy it to the highest extent. And I think for everyone, vegan should be easy, and not like rules to follow, that next rule to follow, next rule to follow. It should be easy and healthy, and like, that is vegan, low fat. So that is my bottom line thought. What do you think of it? Like, what do you think is essential if it comes to a healthy diet? What do you follow? Like, how important do you think are the rules? What you call yourself? So yeah, but one last thought is, for example, like, I don't want to focus on minor matters, which are, in my eyes, do I eat starch or fruit now? Should I eat condiments or not? Should I eat a little bit of salt? Can I eat a little bit of salt with my starches or not? Can I have a little bit of sugar with my fruit smoothie or not? And I do think there are ideals. Like, I don't think that we are supposed to eat refined salt or supposed to eat refined sugar, or also condiments are not naturally growing on the tree. But yet I really don't think they are important. Like, they are really minor matters in my eyes. The main thing is that we are low fat, vegan, and like, I always have like a little bit of condiment, like soy sauce or anything with my rice. Of course, I'm like, it's not like I'm drinking it, but you know, I really don't think that is in any way unhealthy. And also like a little bit of salt with anything, or sugar or whatever. Like I don't want to be like a perfectionist. I think it just doesn't matter that much. So I always think that if it helps you to get in enough carbohydrates and enough food that you love and that is healthy and that nutrifies your cells and your body, then go for it. Then it's good for you. So, and that is our condiment we make ourselves now. For example, do you know Tabasco? It's like a very hot chili sauce in vinegar, I think. We are trying to make this ourselves. It is 1 kilo of pepperonis or chilies. No, I think it's chilies. And this is yellow chilies. And they are fermenting here. And see what it goes like. So I think we should just focus on the main thing, and that is low-fat vegan. And I think that is so easy to do for everyone in the world. And it's not expensive. Like, I think anybody is fine being on that, be it fruit or starches. What do you think? Give it a like if this was like, if you agree, or if you think my thoughts were valuable for non-vegans or whatever. Like, yeah. I love you, and I see you in the next video. See ya!